Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I did a movie review. I was supposed to do one on Pet Sematary, but I lent my Pet Sematary DVD out to a friend of mine, and I didn't get it back yet. But before I do the Pet Sematary DVD review, I thought I'd do one on a sequel. Now, I'm a Wes Craven fan. He hasn't really done too much I don't like. I'd say out of all the Wes Craven movies that he's done, my favorite would probably be either Hills Have Eyes or Last House on the Left. People go all crazy about Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's okay. It's not my favorite. But this definitely sits on the top of his worst movies. I think this and Red Eye. I watched Last House on the Left and then Red Eye, and I compared the two, and I was just like, this is done by the same guy? Are you kidding me? Well, I'm going to talk about one that a lot of people don't like. A Wes Craven movie. It's a sequel. And, I've heard so many bad reviews about it, I decided I'd watch it and, see for myself. I wasn't expecting anything terrible, but boy, was I in for it. Hills Have Eyes, Part 2. Not the remake, the original. Boy, oh boy. The remake of Hills Have Eyes 2 was terrible. That was just awful. But this is... it's lost for words. Ugh. This is what the DVD looks like. I know my webcam is getting in the reflection. I'm sorry about that, but, it's a... I compared both the Hills Have Eyes DVD to this, and it's just the Hills Have Eyes DVD I have, and it's actually looks really good, but this is cheap. This is a Netflix. I didn't even want to buy this. I mean, I was looking for it. I mean, I did want to buy this, but now that I watched this, I'm glad I didn't. I heard about this for years, and I never got a chance to see it. Netflix had it listed, but they didn't have the DVD in yet. It was a long wait. That and the Chaplin movie with Robert Downey Jr. were both on the long wait list, so I couldn't get them in time. And I've been looking everywhere, in every store, for Hills Have Eyes 2, a copy of it, but nowhere where I've been to carried it. I can see why. Well, basically, what this film is about. It's about survivors from the first Hills Have Eyes movie. This is like about a couple years after that. They go on like a bus trip or like a trip somewhere into the desert again, and they run into the cannibalistic family. And basically, the travelers, they have to fight off the family. It's basically the first movie done over again, but in a shitty way. First off, the quality of this flick, I don't know if it's the DVD transfer, but as far as I know, Image Entertainment is the only company to have released the film on DVD. I don't know if there's another better quality disc out there or something, but the quality on that flick is awful. I'd say that it's probably one of the worst quality DVDs I think I've ever seen. And I know, because the first Hills Have Eyes, it's not, it's not HD or Blu-ray quality, but it's not as bad as this. Basically, what the entire movie is comprised of is flashbacks to the original. Bad acting. You got some real bad actors. Cheap special effects. Bad prosthetics glued to the mutants. Bad directing from Wes Craven. I never thought I'd say that, but this is, like I said, sits atop his worst movies that he's done. And I know Wes Craven, when he talks about it now, says he only did it because he needed some quick cash. He was in some financial trouble, and has since then disowned it. He never talks about it, doesn't even really want to classify it as his own movie. One thing that I'm glad Wes Craven has got the balls to do was actually admit that he hates the movie. A lot of directors, when they make a shitty movie, and people know it's shitty, the director really doesn't know it. I mean, they know it, but they don't like to admit it. At least Wes Craven has disowned it and doesn't like to classify it as his movie. Although, on the first credit, besides the opening monologue, which I'll get to in a minute, is a film by Wes Craven, which is kind of hard to not consider it a Craven film. One thing that really kind of was bizarre was that there was an opening monologue in the beginning of the film, before the opening credits rolled over. And it was so Texas Chainsaw Massacre narration. If you've seen the original, you know what I'm talking about, the opening monologue, which to me is one of the greatest openings of any horror film ever. I can look at that monologue, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I can say, that's fucking awesome. This is going to be a scary movie. But no. This is so bad. So stupid. It's ridiculous. I was laughing my ass off. Really, if you want a Hills Have Eyes movie to be based off of a fact, to be based off of, a true story, why would you put it on the shitty-ass fucking sequel? Why would you not put it on the great original, which is a classic drive-in horror film? Why would you not put it on that and put it on this piece of shit fucking... And it's so stupid. It's like, the hills still have eyes. Which actually, that was okay, but it could have been used so much better than that. And, and a narrator sounds like shit. You could have gotten such a better guy to do that. They didn't have a big budget on this movie. I don't even know if it was at the, I don't even know what the budget was. It was very low budget. And the opening credits roll over the same exact footage that the first film's opening credits rolled over. It's the same exact footage. The opening credits look like shit. The print that the opening credits are done on looks like garbage. Alright. Some of the shit filmed terribly. The cinematography is awful. Bad direction by Wes Craven. Bad script by Wes Craven. Bad acting. You got some really bad actors. And for an 80s sequel, you really can't look at an 80s horror film sequel and expect Oscar-level acting or directing. But you could have at least put some effort into this. I don't know if this was direct-to-video or if it was actually put into the theaters. I think it was put into theaters. And it came out in 1985, alright, the year when most good movies came out, Back to the Future and shit. But, Hills Have Eyes 2 was a damper on the good movies of 1985. It's only an hour and 27 minutes long. Actually has a rating. It's rated R. Usually I was expecting an unrated film. But all in all, this movie is ass. Avoid it at all costs. If you read any reviews on IMDb, Netflix, Blockbuster Total Access, I don't know if they have it or not, or if you see it in a video store, which I doubt you will because it's extremely rare to find in a video store. You have to go on, Amazon or CD Universe. Avoid it. Avoid it like the plague. It's cheap. If you really want to brave it, you can find it on CD Universe for like $2. That's about what it's worth. And I know Wes Craven didn't want to put his all into this because he only wanted to make it so he needed, because he was in financial trouble. That's all fine. But you could have done such a better job. At least try to make it good and, worth the ticket price. Or worth the money's price, alright? Nobody wants to sit through a shitty sequel directed by Wes Craven, alright? He hasn't done that many bad movies, but this is just god-awful, alright? So that's my little mini review of Hills Have Eyes 2. Alright, gonna send this piece of shit back as soon as possible. So, that's a little review. Leave comments, suggestions on other reviews. I'm gonna do the Pet Sematary review as soon as I get the DVD back. And I'll make sure to put that up as soon as I get it back. And more little short films are on the way. I'm glad people are enjoying Judy Sledgehammer Massacre. And more reviews are on the way. I might do a few DVD updates because I'm getting tons of new DVDs and stuff. So, I look forward to hearing if you have any suggestions. Leave comments and rate the video and leave messages on my channel, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you later.